education, and raising awareness right here on the Rob Fletcher podcast. Today, we are talking about the pillars of anti-aging and anti-aging interventions. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Rob Fletcher podcast. Before we start our show today, I just want to give some shout outs to some very important partners. TRM Trainer Revenue Multiplier, the premier wealth creation system for experienced fitness coaches that helps you earn more working less. Also, Top Doctor Magazine and Top Doc Clinic in Miami, Florida. I'm very excited to be partnering with them to expand the vision, bringing together the world of health, fitness, and anti-aging. Top Doc Clinics is an industry leader in healthcare, providing a diverse array of medicine from urgent care and family care to restorative and revitalizing treatments, including cosmetic procedures. The science-based treatments offered by Top Doc Clinics are designed to detoxify the body and improve recovery. And two shout outs right here to Brain Tap and nitric oxide, Dr. Nathan Bryan, Brain Tap. This operates on light, sound, and vibration. This is truly a game changer. Whether you're looking to just get healthier, change your life, or go to the next level of performance, check it out, Brain Tap. I use it every day. And now, with no further ado, my good friend, Carl Brackett. Carl, thanks so much for joining me today. It's going to be a great show. Looking forward to it and talking about all these very interesting topics that we spoke about earlier, that it's, again, too much information to people digest, and then figuring out what's real, what works, what doesn't. So, Carl, welcome to the show.
Hey, Rob, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's just start out with Caribbean regenerative medicine, maybe just a white belt level 101. Explain to the viewers that are not familiar, what is regenerative medicine?
About a decade ago, I was introduced to the stem cell world. We were involved in some studies looking at how we could change some different disease states, help people live better, longer, healthier, arthritic changes in the knees and so forth, shoulder injuries. That moved forward. I met my partner and a great physician. He's actually known as the father of exosomes. He literally wrote the book. He has the chapter on exosomes and the medical school books that the doctors study. And about a year ago, we kicked this neat idea off about what can we do? Rob, people are doing things right now. You've heard of cold plunges, your light modulation right there. Everyone is looking for different ways, infrared sauna, different nutraceuticals. The nutraceutical industry has exploded with anti-aging. How do we make ourselves feel like we did 2, 3, 4 decades ago? So Doc and I started talking about this, and we knew that we had one hurdle to overcome. And just go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. The FDA is not real big on things that can truly help people.
Sadly.
We found a very nice place in the Caribbean, Anguilla, spent some time developing with the local physicians there, and a great group of individuals really gave us the, I guess you call it the comfy, cozy feeling that we were welcome. They wanted us there, and we spent the time to educate them and tell them exactly what we were looking to do. So we have the clinics. Actually, the physician there has been operating now for more than 20 years. And so that's where we go to do our treatments. Started telling you about stem cells. Let me circle back on a couple of things then. Exosomes. That's the new catchphrase out in regenerative medicine and anti-aging. What is it? I'm not a doctor, so this is the way I try to explain it. Stem cells, we've all heard of them. Probably know some people who've had some treatments and a lot of success. So think of stem cells as the cow and exosomes as the milk. What we've learned from stem cell treatments is the stem cells, even if we give them locally, like a shoulder injury, we may inject into the shoulder joint, but those stem cells don't stay there. They travel everywhere. They go to your liver, they go into your bloodstream, they go into your digestive system. It's the properties of the stem cells, the little packets that actually deliver the treatment. So what we're doing is we're taking those those packets, those beautiful little nutrient dense packets of exosomes, and we're doing different treatments. It might be an intrathecal injection into the spine. It could be an IV treatment. We also do a nasal administration, basically a nasal spray. And each of these treatments are designed for specific issues. Our biggest product and the one we see the most use out of is our intravenous product. My doctor likes to tell people it's not a one and done. This is something that you need to come back for if you
Right.
want to get the best effect, the greatest effect from it. So we do quarterly injections, and we also track people through specific lab testing so that you're coming to us, you're spending your money, you're enjoying that island in the Caribbean while you're there for 3 or
What
4
a way,
days with us.
what a way to
Yeah.
do it.
And we want you to know. So we do pre and post lab work and then go over that with you. A lot of, there's a lot of hype in the industry, and some of it is not as truthful as we would want it to be. So by providing you the ability to test your blood quarterly and see the progress that you're making, that gives you the security and the benefit of knowing, hey, I'm actually making a change in my life. Let's go back to some of these things. I do cryotherapy 3 to 5 times a week. I do photomodulation with red light. Okay.
Now,
These are
Carl,
all things.
when you do the cryotherapy, do you do that in separate sessions, or do you do it in one combined? I've heard different opinions on how to do it, like a protocol. I believe you start off with the cryotherapy, you go to IV infusion, you go to red light therapy, and then hyperbaric chamber, and then back to cryotherapy. Is that something that you do, or is it just individual, separate?
We, Me personally, I like to do cryotherapy and then go to photomodulation, because when you've done the cryotherapy, you've set the skin up to be more accepting to the photomodulation, red light, blue light therapy, if you want to break it down that easily.
And explain to people that don't know. I know it's been out there a lot, but I don't think people really understand the benefits of cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy, when you put your body into a state of cold. Now, there's different degrees of cold. I go to a nitrogen chamber and spend 3 to 5 minutes at minus 220. Now, when you do that, it forces your blood, you get a core rush of your blood, and your liver releases an enzyme that helps you to basically burn calories throughout the day. You get a dopamine response, you get a serotonin response, and you're walking out of that therapy that day and you're feeling it. You will feel it for 8 to 12 hours. You'll sleep better. You're going to be more in tune. Your inflammation response is going to go down. 53 years old. Hey, I've done some things to my body I'm not proud of, and the arthritis has crept up on me. The cold therapy really helps keep that inflammation at bay. And then when you couple it with different therapies like the photomodulation, compression therapy, and then add something exosome, it really changes everything. You actually get to witness your inflammation markers going down. You get a more acute mental state.
And that
You know,
inflammation is completely destroying so many people. They don't even recognize or realize how much inflammation they do have within their body. That's affecting, as we know, affects the way we think, feel, our moods, everything we do, our concentration levels, and of course, not to mention the physical effect of inflammation.
Rob, if we're learning in medicine that inflammation is more and more the root cause
Mm.
to most disease states. Okay. You look at people who live in quote unquote the blue zones, take Okinawa. Not only do they have a great diet, but they do things that help to reduce stress, and cortisol, the stress hormone, actually increases your inflammatory throughout your body. So when we're talking about anti-aging, when we're talking about reversing the clock, when we're talking about stop father time, look, that's one of the big things. If we can get our patients into a more neutral state as far as inflammation, and we can get them more in tune with what's going on, more relaxed and enjoy. If you enjoy your life, are you more stressed or more relaxed?
100%. Rock solid.
Our approach isn't just, hey, come see us. Let me give you some exosomes, pat you on the back, send you out the door. We're all smiling, right? No, we're taking a whole body approach to this. There's different nutraceutical regimens. We all know what resveratrol can do for us now. Why isn't everybody taking it? Turmeric, curcumin. Why isn't everybody taking it? These are all nutraceuticals that have been around now for, in many states, decades, and they're studied, and we know they work. Why not take it? It's easy. And in conjunction with what we're doing, follow the protocol. It's like we say, don't just live long, live healthier.
Live healthy and happy. Enjoy your life.
Right.
Yeah. So, Carl, when people go to Anguilla, how long is a typical stay for? Just the thought of going there, it's therapy, just thinking about it. That whole.
It is. Hey, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. We already get you relaxing. You spend some time on the beach. When you arrive, everybody's going to fly in. And listen, flying's hard on the body. Okay. You're going to be a little dehydrated. Your tissues are going to be swollen. You're not going to be moving around for the 3 to 5, 6 hours you're on the flight. So we ask you to come in day before. Start hydrating. That is key. And when your cells are properly hydrated, the treatment's going to work better and more efficient for you. Okay. So spend the day hydrating and relaxing. Go sit on the veranda and just enjoy some peaceful time. Then you come see us the next day. We do our intake. We go over everything with you, your current labs, any
Is that
imaging
done there,
studies.
Carl? Are the labs done there, or you have those prior to? Do they
We,
send the labs to you first?
we want the labs done prior, and you can upload all of your medical information to our website. We have a patient portal that you can put all of this information in, and it's reviewed prior. Then we discuss the treatment therapy with you, what's going to go on when you arrive. We can do labs on the island. There is a laboratory at the clinic. One of the things we will look for in some people is we'll do urinalysis on them just to make sure there's not an underlying infection.
Right.
Because we don't want to do anything if the body's already fighting something. Okay. So you arrive, you do your intake. I'll be there. Doc will be there. We go over everything that's going to happen. And you're usually with us. Depending on which therapy you've chosen, you'll be with us anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And then we follow up with you that evening, make sure everything's going and you're enjoying your stay, basically, is what we're doing. And then before you leave, we follow up with you again. So you're there 3 days. Some people stay 5. Some people stay a whole week.
I'd be
Because after all,
5-day stay.
there you go. It is a vacation destination.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. That's awesome. So the blood work gets done. So now, does Doc do a telehealth with potential clients or patients, or is that done? You do.
We could do that through our website. Yes.
Okay, so you provide the telehealth, and then I know we'll talk about it later also, but I believe it's the website that they could find out information is Stop Father Time. Is that where they can get most of the information?
Yes, Rob. It's stopfathertime.com.
Okay, we'll mention that several times right there on a backboard. But yeah, make sure you're checking that out. I went to your website. It looks so awesome and fascinating. And like I said, the mind just takes you already to that therapeutic state. So I just want to tap into this, Carl. Then I want to go into the pillars of how you explained to me, pillars of anti-aging. So we are big advocates of trainers. And just in this conversation, I'm so excited to hear you speak and talk about all the things that you're doing. We strongly encourage trainers to start working with doctors, whether it's one-on-one in a local area or through telehealth. Imagine the impact the trainer has when they encourage their clients. When's the last time you got your blood work done? You mentioned quarterly. Some people, you ask them, they have no idea, no clue when they got their blood work done last. And that's going to be the tell all, what's identifying what's happening on the inside, whether it's an athlete or someone just looking to optimize their health and being. inside and out, getting that blood work done, working with trainers. So again, so excited that you're doing that and strongly encourage trainers tuning in. If you're not doing it already, really dial in, and here you have a perfect opportunity. You can reach out to Carl and check out the website, stopfathertime.com. But with that said, Carl, let's talk about the pillars of anti-aging and anti-aging interventions.
Okay, buddy. Listen, I'm going to pull something up because Doc's better at this, and I'm just going to go through a couple of them. Let's talk about some things here. Okay. What is aging? How do we define aging right now? It's you're counting your birthdays, right? I take a different approach to it. Okay. And I guess since I turned 50 and I know that time's ticking away, I actually look at aging as it's a chronic disease. It is. We're all aging. We're all moving towards an end result. I won't mention that result. But what is aging? Aging is the process of you dying a little bit every day. Okay. Genomic instability. Okay. Big words here. What
Mm,
happens with genomic instability? That is your body's increasing inability to repair its own DNA. Okay. Our DNA gets old. We have environmental factors that have caused DNA changes, and the replication process of our cells isn't as effective as it was when we were younger. Think about it. When you're 4 years old, what's going on? Your body's producing cells as quick as it can, right? Because you're growing. So you're replicating constantly. Now, at 53, my cell replication isn't as fast or as effective or clean, if you want to say, as it was when I was younger. Case in point, let's talk about inflammatory response again. Arthritis. Why do we have arthritis? It's usually one or two things. It's a genetic issue or it's an environmental issue. You have an injury. Genomic instability. What can we do? Again, resveratrol. It's proven to help with it. You listen, you can't go out and drink enough red wine to get it. So you need to be on a supplement. The other thing that you can do, okay, sleep. How many people don't get enough
undervalue that.
sleep?
Undervalue the sleep. People
Yes,
undervalue that sleep, that recovery time. Yep.
bingo. So you're talking about your trainers. What can they do? Guys, what we're talking about is recovery. If you can increase someone's ability to recover, whether it's from workout or injury, the trainer's job just became easier, correct?
Because most are getting
Uh,
definitely not enough sleep for sure. What do you think typically everyone says 7, 8? Is that what you would gauge it on? 7, 8, 5, 6?
Man, different nights, different legs. If I'm fighting off something, if you've got a allergy response to something, I live in Tennessee, so there's stuff always blooming here. And I might need a little more. I like to tell people, when's the last time you went on vacation? You
Wait,
unplug.
what?
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, no, that's the truth. Unplug. Unplug, no, I
Yeah.
don't, probably about a year and a half ago, unplug.
Yeah. How much sleep did you get
Yeah,
the
so
first
that's
couple of nights?
when I went away, yeah. So my typical crawl is my average sleep is 5 to 6, 6 at the most. But it's
Right.
not straight sleep either. It's interrupt sleep. I'm not sleeping through that 5 to 6 hours. So the quality
Well,
is
then you've also got to wonder how much REM sleep are you getting? Because
right.
REM is when the body repairs. Okay. The other thing with this is, Rob, and I had to learn this the hard way. Sleep isn't like a bank. You can't get a bunch of sleep one night and that sleep's going to be saved up for a night that you don't get sleep.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. And most of us are running on sleep deprivation and we don't realize it because we've just become accustomed to feeling tired and wore out all the time. But that is a simple thing you can do to help heal your body is sleep. I have friends. We see each other in the gym. Okay. But when you talk to them, guess what? The one thing they don't do regularly is they do not rest properly. And if you're not resting properly, you're not recovering.
So Carl, back to what you said earlier, you mentioned a few supplements there. What would you recommend, including possibly some of these modalities that could help people get that quality REM sleep? Supplement wise, IV infusion, what would your recommendations be for that?
There's a madrid of different supplements. I can tell you what I take. Okay. I take ashwagandha on an as needed basis. You want to watch how much ashwagandha you take because you can shut your adrenal glands down. So it's not something you want to take constantly. If you're really struggling with sleep, throw some melatonin in there for a few nights.
How many
That'll help you.
How many milligrams of melatonin would you think people should be taking? I think they come in 5 milligrams. I tried it before, but it's haven't
I tell people start off as low as you can. I take 5 milligrams. It tends to knock me out. Some people it's going to take more, but adjust that so that you're not waking up groggy. You don't want to spend 8 or 9 hours in the bed and get up the next day and you're in slow motion. So pay attention to your body. The bigger thing though is, hey, turn off the phone and the electronics.
exactly.
And get away from that for
Shut down.
at least half an hour
Yeah, I was going to
before you
say
try to go to bed.
hour, at least hour. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And what are you doing during the day? Hey, if you're taking caffeine in late in the afternoon, that's going to disturb your sleep.
right.
If you're having a heavy meal 2 hours before you go to bed, that's going to disturb your sleep.
Greater.
I went to the gym about a month ago at 8 o'clock at night. Guess what? I didn't rest well that night. I went too late. I wasn't thinking about it. We all do things.
Yeah.
Another one is curcumin. Sometimes that word doesn't want to come out of my mouth properly. Fight that inflammation. The less inflammation you're fighting, the more you're going to rest because you're not hurting.
Yeah. So just a quick recap. So ashwagandha. What about CBD? Any CBD that you've tried?
If you're going to take CBD, make sure you get it from a reputable source. Make sure that it's clean and you've got a third-party testing certificate from it.
Yeah,
CBD
100%.
works, but be careful because if you're in a profession that you get drug tested, you could test positive for THC with CBD. So always be aware of that.
Yeah. Breakdown there. Turmeric, curcumin. Let's see. Watch what you eat at a reasonable hour, not 8 and 9 o'clock at night, especially at big meals. Cut out that caffeine, and then your activities throughout the course of the day. Of course, exercise helps sleep, but that was a great start. So not to take away from our conversation there, but I think that also ties into the anti-aging pillars of anti-aging,
Yes.
rest and recovery. So we'll move on from there where we left off. So we were talking about genomic instability. And then let's talk about DNA repair. You're familiar with NAD?
Oh, yes.
There's so much. I could do a dozen shows with you. This is
Yeah.
so that's what I want to mention. So when we're talking about DNA repair, cell repair, talk to the listeners or viewers about NAD plus, what it does, and what you feel, if you feel there are true benefits and value to NAD.
Okay. Let me shift gears on you because Doc suggested I was on NAD. Okay. And Doc suggested that I try NMN.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a really good supplement when you're attacking the DNA variables and so forth. It kind of resets everything.
IV or
No, that comes in a supplement. You can take, I take it every day. I take 1,000 milligrams every day.
Where do you get your supplement from?
Oh my goodness.
Is it a brand supplement? Is it
Yes, it is a brand supplement. It's the one that Doc offers. We'll have it up on the website where we order.
Medical grade? Is it a medical grade?
Yes.
Yes. That was what I want to ask. Because the other thing is you can go to Amazon, obviously, and just Google NAD, as many people do. And
Right.
for example, they could hear us talking about it. That's why I brought this up, is to so they understand medical grade
Yes.
is the way to go. It's
Exactly.
also have that hopefully on your site soon where people can go to get that, correct?
Exactly. It's like your supplement right there in front of you, the nitrous oxide.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on that. Doc put me on that, but it's not all are created equally. You need to be purchasing from a reputable source.
Yeah. And that's not just to give any shout outs there, but that's why I have that there on the forefront. We actually did a study. There's a device, a piece of equipment that detects whether or not the supplement actually has nitric oxide. So we were at a trade show. And so guess which one's the only one that had nitric oxide? That's
The one I'm taking too, because I see it right there.
yeah. That's awesome. All right. Shout out to you, Dr. Brian. All right, Carl. That's great information. NAD, how often, when you were the NMN, how often do you take that?
I take it daily. I take
Take
it every morning. Yeah, I do 1,000 milligrams. Some people only do 500. I find 1,000 is where I want to be.
Now,
And
did you feel a difference once you started taking, like a couple weeks later or a week later?
yes, yes. And here's the thing. I'm on auto ship for my supplements now. We're all busy. Life gets in front of us. And you shake that bottle and you're like, oh, yeah, I've only got 10 left. I need to order. Guess what happens? Something happens that day, you forget it. And then you run out and then you're waiting on the shipment to get there. And it's those days in between having your supplement and not having your supplement that you realize the effect that it's having on your body.
Just to tag on to that, just one final thing on the supplements, Carl, being that we're so dialed into that, and I think it's so important. Two questions. What are the benefits of the NMN? What are the benefits of that?
So it was originally discovered, as I understand, by a group of scientists at MIT. And the easiest way to describe this is it is a supplement that resets your genetic clock. And that's the way it works. It goes in and helps to
Flushes it out.
reset.
Yep, just like
Yes,
flushes it all out. Got it.
exactly.
All right.
And that's, I'm going to circle back around to this with you. Exosome. We were talking about exosomes and stem cells. And one of the things that ages us, remember I was talking about being 4 years old and growing. When you're younger, your stem cells are more active. There's just more of them in your body. Okay. As we age, not only do we not have as many, but they don't work like they used to. Okay. It's just a decrease in your body's ability to replenish them. Okay. Talk about stem cell clinics. I love stem cells. That's how I got my start in this. But if I take a stem cell from me, like from harvested mesenchymal stem cells from my adipose tissue, guess what? My stem cell is 53 years old. There's no way that stem cell is younger than I am.
Right.
Okay. So what we've done is we've looked at young blood. If you look at young blood studies or probiosis, what we're looking at is for over 5 decades, scientists have studied how combining an older mouse to a younger mouse with their circulatory system and what happens to both of those animals. And what happens is the older mouse starts to reflect some of the attributes of the younger mouse, and the younger mouse starts to reflect some of the attributes from the older mouse. Basically, I'm making the old mouse younger and the younger mouse older because of the properties in the young blood. Okay. You'll see some of this. There are actually IV infusions now with plasma where they're taking young plasma and people are infusing that into themselves through an IV and they're seeing some effect. But now that's downstream. That's what I like to say. It's downstream.
Yeah.
How do we start with that? Remember I told you earlier, think of exosomes as the milk from the cow, which is the stem cell. Well, our exosomes are created from donated placental stem cells. So they're young. Rather than taking something that stem cell for me that would be 53 years old and treating something that I have, buddy, I'm giving you something that is young. And that is the key right there. We're fighting age-related issues with young exosomes.
And the value of stem cells done the way that you're speaking of is absolutely phenomenal. Some of the testimonials that give us some of the testimonials that the doc is responsible for.
We had videos of individuals who have had spinal cord injuries that he's treated, and they're up and moving around again. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell. Yeah, they're not running a marathon, but they're able to move.
But individually, they were written off, or they would, yeah.
Bingo. Yeah. Parkinson with the shake. The treatment helps to relieve that. Again, we're not 100% sure how these treatments are affecting these disease states. But if you go back to what Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, all the neuro-related diseases are, it's plaque and inflammation if it's not a injury. Okay. You remember earlier I told you that we deliver some of our exosomes through a nasal spray. We're able to bypass the cribriform plate and get those exosomes straight into that area, concussion. If we can save brain tissue, if we can save brain cells, then we're going to help that person.
And again, so I'll bring it up. Like I said, I'm going to mention this several times, but to get more information, you can go to stopfathertime.com and
Correct.
see all the services that are offered there. And what we're speaking of, Carl and I here are changing possibilities and potential and testimonials that the results of what you're talking about, that it's actually working. And
Yeah.
then knowing the difference, and part of the big part of the show is education, raising awareness. There's so much information out there, as we spoke about earlier, but it's really dissecting that information and then really analyzing what information makes sense. Everything that you're speaking of makes 100% sense. And we're seeing a lot of stem cell work being done, but it's the way that it's being done. And it's not going to give the impact that you would get doing it, like you mentioned, from a placenta, a donated placenta.
Correct. Think of it this way. We're running a race, right? Or it's race cars. All right. Would you rather race somebody in a Pinto or a Ferrari?
That's correct. That would be correct. I'm going to race someone. Oh, yeah, Pinto.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah. So operating, and again, this across the board, whether you're looking to optimize your health or you're talking about athletes, that's a whole nother real demographic of taking athletes to the next level. How?
We haven't seen any athletes there. He's treated athletes in the past. So we're reaching out to some of our former patients to let them know where we are. But Rob, here's the thing. High performing individuals who might make their living with their body, what is the number one important thing for them? Being as healthy as possible. But also, if I can give them just that much more of an advantage over someone else
100%.
that they're competing against, that's value.
So yeah, you see a lot, I hear a lot, and I see a lot of many athletes, whether it's an injury or looking to enhance their performance, are going out of the country to get work done.
Mhm.
And
Right.
there's testimonials all over the place of how the benefits and value. And again, for the athletes, and again, people with injuries, rotator cuff, a bicep tear, the benefits and the value of doing these stem cell in that area. I've seen tremendous and heard tremendous results, but along the lines of what you're saying, and doing it the right way, as opposed to taking it out from if I were to take it from myself, now 61 years old, there's a big difference there as far as it's that
And,
Ferrari analogy. Yeah.
and the other side of this is too, Rob, you have to understand, we'll be your partner in your healthcare journey. Okay. So it's not just come to Anguilla, get your exosomes, we pat you on the back, send you on your way.
I love it.
Doc's going to come up with a regimen for you. He is so versed in the supplements, the exosomes.
He's amazing. Yeah, he's amazing.
And hey, if you're a professional athlete, okay, and you use your body to make your living, what if we can help you stay active in your profession for another 3 to 5 years at a level that you want to perform at?
Yeah, that'd be
Just
phenomenal.
think about the impact. Think about the impact, not only on your health, but financially.
Across the board. Trickle effect.
Exactly.
Yeah, trickle.
Exactly.
I'd be on the flight. I'm on the flight yesterday.
Ah,
I'm booked. So let's see what else we have here. I do want to talk about, in my notes here, epigenetic alterations. Talk about that, and then exactly what it is. And I think we touched on it a little bit.
we did. So epigenetic alterations. Okay. We're exposed to so many environmental factors, whether it be contaminants, whether it come from food, water, just the things that we do daily that have an impact on our DNA. We're all familiar with radiation exposure, how that can change your DNA. But the chemical properties that we are bombarded with now, it doesn't take a genius to
Right.
search. Our food can be polluted. So think about the chemicals that we're ingesting and how those affect your DNA. Environmental changes
Wow.
of your DNA sequencing. And
Crazy.
as we age, your body doesn't repair DNA changes as effectively as it once did. And that's when you can have other disease states. And I just, the big one, I hate to use the C word, cancer. What is it? It's a change in your DNA. It's cell changes, starts
People,
growing
places, things.
abnormality.
Yeah. People, places, things. It's environment. So many factors. The stress is a killer. We know that. Inflammation is a
Yes.
killer. And back to what you said earlier, Carl, you're basically aging. You're treating it like a disease, like an illness, where you actually have proven science and results that show the through the proper protocols, the effects of anti-aging. We all know
Yes.
that chronologically, that number, of course, is not going to change. But you could have a 50 or 60-year-old who's outdoing a 20-year-old, who's outdoing
Yes.
a 5-year-old. And now you're taking it to a whole new level with what you're doing with Doc there. So I'm super excited about that. What are some of the products that you're offering now? Maybe people can look into. I know that we spoke about going out there, actually visiting with you, which I'm on definitely on that list. But other than that, are there things people can, do you have something, products on your website right now people can get, or you're working? I think we spoke about it. You're working on that.
We're working on those. We're in discussion. And again, it's like you said, reputable manufacturers. That's where we are right now. We're in discussions with some individual companies for the pharmaceuticals, not the pharmaceuticals, the nutraceuticals that Doc likes. And we're looking at some different delivery methods. If I could give you something that would dissolve on your tongue like a little breath strip, but it delivered
Mm,
your daily supplements. Here's what I know. If I can make it easy and if it fits into your lifestyle. Now, what do I mean by that? If it goes in your purse, backpack, or cup holder and you use it every day for a month, guess what? You will create the habit and you'll use it. I don't want to just sell you something. I want you to use it and see the benefit from it.
and I like what you said earlier. That really was a powerful statement. We want to be your partner in your journey. It's not a one and done. But you're coming here, and who would not want to frequent the island and then to shut it all down? But not only to shut it down, now you're refreshing, you're reorganizing, you're restructuring everything, the brain, your
Yes.
body, the whole rewiring, reprogramming everything on a whole nother level, as opposed to other places. People can go out, you can buy your typical supplements and things, but why not identify, like truly identify? And it begins with the blood work. Do you do food sensitivity testing at all, or?
We have the capability. We refer that to a different lab. And it's once we engage with the patient and we start to discuss where they are, what's going on, and create that clinical treatment plan, then those decisions will be made and based upon that.
So right now, again, check out stopfathertime.com and find out how you can optimize your health, your performance. It's a game changer. I just want to go back to the trainers and really encourage trainers. And Carl, we spoke about this the other night. It's just it's a partnership that could truly change the dynamic. And trainers that are not doing this, that are not working with companies like yourself or doctor, they're actually cheating their clients. Then the gym owners are cheating their members because they're not offering what's actually out there and actually enhancing and changing lives, saving lives for that matter.
Hmm.
So again, there's so many fitness organizations out there that I truly believe the trainers that are top notch, that want that education, want that awareness. I encourage you again to check out the website, check out what they're doing, and work with them. And go to your clients and ask them, encourage them. When's the last time you had blood work done? Start with that. Then give direction and guidance, and you truly will see the results, dramatic changes. In closing, Carl, any closing statements? Or I know that we want people to go to stopfathertime.com. Oh, big news. So excited. You're going to be at the Olympia. The,
Yes, we are.
That is big news, people. So we're going to have Big Carl there, Caribbean Regenerative Medicine right there, stopfathertime.com. He's going to be right by us, the Muscle and Fitness Plus booth. So again, all your trainers, I know way ahead of schedule here, we have ways to go, November, but it will be here before you know it. And Carl's working with his social media crew to get everything up and running. Everything's going to be dialed in. So you're going to have products, you're going to have services. And again, trainers, gym owners, stop by. We will be at the Olympia. Carl will be there. We'll be doing interviews with him. You can ask him questions, stop by. Game changer. It's truly a game changer. So stopfathertime.com. Carl Brackett, thank you so much, brother. Can't wait till our next podcast and keeping me updated. And I can't wait to get out to see Doc.
Hey, we're going to have some fun, Rob. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, in closing, I just want to do another shout out to our partners, Trainer Revenue Multiplier. Trainers out there, they can scale your business. They have changed trainers' lives. They have taken trainers that were on the verge of surrendering what they love to do, scaling their business, 10, 20, 30, 40, north of $50,000 a month. And that's serious numbers. I know personally people that have done that and have achieved that. The other is Top Doctor Magazine and Top Doc Clinics. So again, stopfathertime.com, Carl Brackett, Caribbean Regenerative Medicine. It will change your life.